In the past few years, the Moto G series has set a standard in affordable phones that few can match. This year, Lenovo has two G series phones, the Moto G5 and the Moto G5 Plus. The G5 Plus is the one that has gotten all the attention so far. It's got the powerful and very battery-savvy Snapdragon 625 system chip, it's got a fast dual-pixel autofocus camera, and it has a starting price of just $230. And then there is the Moto G5 that we have up here for review. It's a much different phone than the G5 Plus, and this is important to know. It has a smaller, 5-inch display, it has the severely less powerful Snapdragon 430, a completely different camera and half the onboard storage. And it's also not available in the United States, and this one is an even more important distinction. Why? Simple, price of the Moto G5 Plus might be set at $230 in the USA, but in Europe and the rest of the world it rocks a much higher, €280 to €300 price, equivalent to no less than $305. This higher price opens the space for the Moto G5, a €230 phone that would make no sense in the United States. Are all the compromises made to get to that lower price worth it, though? We take a deeper dive in the Moto G5 experience to see what living with a dirt cheap phone is all about. Stick with us for some interesting conclusions. Processor, performance, and memory. A bit of a stutter here and there does not ruin the show in the daily grind. The phone runs casual games fine, but more demanding ones drop frames. The Moto G5 ships with the entry-level Snapdragon 430 system chip by Qualcomm. The chip is built on the quite dated 28nm technology, and it features an octa-core setup with 8 Cortex-A53 cores running at up to 1.4 GHz. The phone has also got 2 GB of RAM. The actual performance is mostly fine in your daily grind. We saw no disturbing lag to compromise the experience, but you see that slight stutter here and there. This is obviously not a gamer's phone. The 1080p screen resolution is a bit of a challenge for the Snapdragon 430 in games, where you will see dropped frames more often than you'd like. Of course, you will still be able to play most games. We actually ran Asphalt 8 with a few dropped frames, while less demanding titles like The Cool Dan the Man ran much smoother. The built-in 16GB of storage is definitely a limitation on the Moto G5. Out of those 16 gigs, only around 7 GB are actually left for the end user. All phones in this price class come with 16 gigs of storage, but nonetheless, one should understand that this is a big limitation for most people. Luckily, the phone also supports microSD card expansion, so that you can add up to 128 GB card to its storage capacity. Keep in mind that both the microSD and SIM card slots are located under the phone's back cover. You have to remove the back cover, shut down the phone and remove the battery to be able to insert or switch a SIM or microSD card.